Why some people drain your energy. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling completely drained? No arguments, no harsh words, just a normal chat, yet somehow you feel exhausted, like all your energy has been sucked out of you. That's exactly what happened to David. David is the kind of guy who always shows up for others. He listens, he supports, he gives without hesitation. But lately, no matter how much he sleeps or prays, he still feels drained. It's as if someone or something is slowly pulling the life out of him. One evening, David meets an old friend at a cafe. The warm glow of the lights, the rich aroma of freshly brewed coffee, it should be a relaxing moment. But as he steps outside, his chest feels heavy, his mind foggy, his body tense. Nothing bad happened, no conflict, no stress. So why does he feel completely exhausted? Is he just being too sensitive, or is there something deeper going on? Some believe that your energy is entirely under your control. Others argue that certain people unknowingly drain your energy, little by little, every time you're around them. What do you think? Drop a comment below. Here's the good news. You don't have to let this continue. Today, we'll uncover 5 types of people who secretly drain your energy, and, more importantly, how to protect yourself so you can reclaim your strength, focus, and inner peace. Stick around until the end because I'll be sharing 7 powerful steps to help you set boundaries and take back control. Thank you for being here. With so much content out there, you chose to spend your time on this video, and that truly means a lot. If you've ever felt like David, hit like, share, and subscribe, because someone out there might need this message just as much as you do. Now, let's dive in, not just to see who's been draining your energy, but more importantly, how you can take back your peace and power. Section 1. David's realization, the hidden energy drain. David thought he was just tired. Work had been busy, life had been hectic, and maybe he just needed more rest. But the exhaustion wasn't going away. It wasn't the kind of tiredness that sleep could fix. It was deeper, like a constant fog weighing him down, making everything feel harder than it should be. Then, he started to notice a pattern. There were moments when he felt alive, recharged, full of purpose, usually after spending time with people who inspired him, challenged him in a good way, and poured positivity into his life. Conversations with them felt effortless, like a two-way street where both sides left feeling better. But then there were the others. The ones who, after just a short conversation, left him feeling drained, empty, and even anxious. These weren't necessarily bad people. Some were his friends. Some were family. But something about being around them made him feel like he was carrying a weight that wasn't his to bear. It wasn't until one afternoon, sitting in his car after a long conversation with a friend, that the realization truly hit him. The sun was setting, casting a warm golden glow over the parking lot. The air was still, but inside, David felt anything but calm. His heart was racing, his mind replaying the entire conversation over and over. He had spent the last hour listening, comforting, supporting, yet somehow, he felt completely depleted. Why? Nothing terrible had happened. There was no argument, no real conflict. And yet, he felt wiped out, like someone had pulled the plug on his energy. That night, he couldn't shake the feeling. He prayed about it, journaled about it, and finally, he started researching. What was happening? That's when he came across something that changed everything. Psychologists around the world have studied the way human energy flows in relationships. They've found that some people naturally recharge you, while others unknowingly drain you. One of the biggest reasons? Emotional energy transfer. David learned that every human interaction is an exchange, not just of words, but of energy. And sometimes, without realizing it, people can take more than they give. Some people project their own insecurities onto you, leaving you feeling uncertain or even guilty, ***. Some people carry so much negativity that just being around them pulls you into their emotional state, ***. Some people rely on others for emotional support but never pour anything back in return, ***. And the most shocking part? This energy drain happens so subtly that most people never even realize it. David sat with this realization for a long time. If this was true, if some people were unknowingly stealing his energy, then how many times had this happened before? How many times had he walked away from a conversation feeling like he had lost something, without understanding why? And more importantly, who in his life was draining him? That's when the real question hit him. If some people drain you, how do you recognize them before it's too late? Section 2, the 5 types of people who drain your energy. David couldn't shake the feeling. Now that he was aware of the pattern, it was like he was seeing things for the first time. The people who left him drained, exhausted, and empty, who were they? Was there a reason why some interactions left him feeling strong and others made him feel like he had nothing left to give? As he dug deeper, he realized that not all energy drainers are the same. They come in different forms, wearing different masks, but they all take more than they give. Some do it intentionally, some do it unconsciously, but the result is the same. You walk away feeling drained, while they walk away feeling lighter. And once you know how to recognize them, you can protect yourself. Let's break it down. Here are the 5 types of people who might be secretly draining your energy every day. Number 5. The victim, the endless complainer. At first, you feel bad for them. They always have something going wrong, their job is unfair, their relationships are failing, life is constantly against them. So, you listen. You offer advice. You try to help. But nothing ever changes. That's because the victim doesn't want solutions, they want attention. They want someone to carry their emotional weight, so they don't have to. And the more you try to help, the deeper they sink into negativity, pulling you down with them. David had a friend like this. Every conversation was the same, complaints, complaints, and more complaints. No matter how much encouragement David gave, the friend never took action. Over time, David realized that after every conversation, he felt exhausted, while his friend seemed relieved. That's when it hit him, his energy was being drained so someone else could feel lighter. Number 4, the narcissist, the attention seeker. You know this person. The conversation is always about them. Their successes, their struggles, their opinions, they demand attention but give nothing in return. You could be going through the hardest time in your life, but somehow, they always manage to shift the focus back to themselves. The worst part? They make you feel like you're not enough. David had a boss like this. No matter how hard he worked, how many extra hours he put in, it was never enough. The boss demanded more, criticized more, and always made David feel like he was one step behind. This is what narcissists do. They drain your confidence, your self-worth, and your energy until you start believing that you'll never be good enough. And once they've taken everything, they move on to the next source. Number 3, the martyr, the emotional debt collector. I do so much for you. I always put you first. I've sacrificed so much, and this is how you repay me? Sound familiar? The martyr gives, but always with strings attached. At first, They seem generous, selfless, even noble. But their kindness isn't free, it's an emotional debt. David had an aunt like this. She would help him, support him, even buy him gifts. But then, weeks later, she would remind him of everything she had done for him, making him feel guilty if he didn't give back in the exact way she expected. The martyr doesn't give because they care. They give because they want control. They use guilt as a chain, keeping you trapped in a cycle of obligation. Number 2, the manipulator, the hidden puppet master. This one is dangerous. Unlike the others, they don't just drain your energy, they control it. The manipulator twists your words, makes you doubt yourself, and plays mind games to keep you in check. They use guilt, fear, and even love as weapons to keep you where they want you. David had a friend who always made him feel like he was doing something wrong. If David didn't answer a text fast enough, the friend would say, "Wow, I guess I don't matter to you." If David set a boundary, the friend would respond with, "I thought you were different." And it worked. David found himself constantly explaining, apologizing, and trying to prove that he cared, until one day, he realized something shocking. A real friend doesn't make you feel like you're failing them. A real friend doesn't manipulate you into guilt. And when he stopped playing the manipulator's game, he took his energy back. Number 1, the energy vampire, the chaos magnet. This is the most dangerous one of all. The energy vampire thrives on chaos, drama, and crisis. They always have a problem, always need your help, always drag you into their storm. And the more involved you get, the more tangled you become in their mess. David had a coworker like this. Every day, it was something new, office drama, personal drama, a never-ending cycle of urgencies that weren't really urgent. But the moment David started distancing himself, something strange happened. The energy vampire didn't stop. They just found someone else to feed on. That's when David understood, this wasn't about him. It was never about him. Energy vampires don't want solutions. They want fuel. And if you let them, they'll drain you until there's nothing left. The turning point. Sitting alone that evening, David thought back on all these people, the victim, the narcissist, the martyr, the manipulator, the energy vampire. And he asked himself the question that changed everything. If they've been draining my energy this whole time, how do I stop it? The answer? It starts with awareness. Once you recognize who's draining you, you can take action. And that's exactly what David was about to do. Section 3, the Bible story and real-life lesson. David sat in silence, thinking about all the people who had drained him over the years. Friends, colleagues, even family members, some intentional, some unintentional. The weight of their influence had slowly chipped away at his energy, his peace, and his joy. But then, he remembered a story. A story from the Bible that perfectly illustrates what happens when you let the wrong people get too close. The story of Samson and Delilah. Samson and Delilah, the power of energy theft. Samson was no ordinary man. He was strong, chosen, and favored by God. His power wasn't just physical, it was divine. As long as he upheld his vow, he remained unstoppable. But power always attracts manipulation. Delilah entered his life, not as an enemy, but as someone who seemed to care. She smiled, spoke softly, made him feel safe. But she had a different agenda, one that Samson was too blind to see. Again and again, she pressed him. Tell me the secret to your strength." At first, he resisted. But Delilah was patient. She played the long game, slowly breaking him down, wearing out his spirit, until he finally gave in. And the moment he did, his power was gone. Samson's strength wasn't stolen, it was given away. The saddest part? He didn't even realize it had happened until it was too late. He woke up expecting to fight, to rise, to conquer, only to find himself weak, helpless, and trapped by people who never truly cared for him. The lesson: some people steal your strength before you even notice. Delilah didn't take Samson's power by force. She took it through manipulation, exhaustion, and persistence. And isn't that how energy drainers work in real life? They don't walk up to you and say, "I'm here to take your energy." Instead, they wear you down with constant demands, make you feel guilty for setting boundaries, use your kindness against you, convince you that they need you until you forget to protect yourself. David felt a chill run down his spine. How many times had he played the role of Samson? How many times had he let people chip away at his energy, little by little, until there was nothing left? And if he wasn't careful, how much more would he lose before realizing it was too late? That night, David made a decision. He would never be like Samson again. Because the moment you recognize a Delilah in your life is the moment you can start taking your strength back. And that's exactly what David was about to do. But how? That's where the 7 steps to protect your energy come in. Section 4: 7 steps to protect your energy. David knew one thing: he couldn't keep living like this. He was done feeling drained, done letting people steal his peace, and done giving away his energy to those who never gave anything in return. But protecting your energy isn't about shutting people out, it's about setting boundaries, making intentional choices, and surrounding yourself with the right influences. And the good news? There's a way to do it. Here are 7 powerful steps you can start using today to protect your energy and take back control of your life. Step 1: identify the people draining your energy. You can't fix a problem you don't recognize. Think about the people in your life: friends, family, coworkers. Who do you feel exhausted around? Who leaves you feeling anxious, frustrated, or emotionally drained? Write down their names. It might feel uncomfortable, but awareness is the first step to change. David was shocked when he made his list. The same faces kept showing up. And once he saw it, he couldn't unsee it. Step 2: set boundaries without feeling guilty. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. You are not responsible for carrying other people's burdens. You don't have to explain, justify, or feel guilty for protecting your well-being. At first, David struggled with this. He had always been the nice guy, the one who showed up no matter what. But then, he realized something. The people who truly respect you will understand. The ones who only want to use you will get upset. And that's the clearest sign of who deserves to be in your life. Step 3: stop reacting to negativity. Not everything needs a response. Energy drainers thrive on reactions. They want you to argue, defend yourself, and get emotionally involved in their chaos. But here's the secret: you don't have to play their game. When David stopped reacting to negativity, something incredible happened. People who used to demand his attention started backing off. He wasn't fun to drain anymore. The moment you stop feeding the negativity, it loses its power over you. Step 4. Surround yourself with positive energy. If you remove toxic people but don't replace them with the right influences, you'll feel lost. Find people who lift you up instead of wearing you down. People who challenge you to grow, who inspire you, who bring peace instead of drama. David started spending more time with friends who encouraged him, who prayed with him, who made him feel lighter after every conversation. And the difference was life-changing. Energy isn't just stolen, it's also created. Choose the right people, and your energy will naturally restore itself. Step 5. Reconnect with God. True energy doesn't just come from people, it comes from a higher source. When Samson lost his strength, it wasn't just because of Delilah. It was because he forgot where his strength really came from: God. David started setting aside 10 minutes every morning to pray, reflect, and connect with God. And something incredible happened: he stopped feeling empty. Because when your soul is filled, no one can drain you. Step 6. Practice gratitude every day. Gratitude shifts your focus. Instead of thinking about what's wrong, what's missing, or who's draining you, gratitude helps you see what's right, what's working, and who's truly there for you. Every night, David started writing down 3 things he was grateful for. It didn't take long, but over time, he noticed something. His mind became lighter. His heart became stronger. And the things that used to drain him no longer had power over him. Step 7. Track your progress and adjust. Energy protection isn't a one-time fix, it's a lifestyle. Check in with yourself. Who are you allowing into your space? How are your boundaries holding up? Are you feeling more or less drained? If something isn't working, adjust. David made this a weekly habit, reflecting, adjusting, and making sure he was staying true to his commitment to protect his energy. And the result? He felt stronger than ever before. The transformation. David wasn't the same person anymore. He wasn't exhausted. He wasn't drained. He wasn't walking around feeling like he was constantly running on empty. Because he had finally learned what no one had ever taught him before. Your energy is sacred. Protect it. Guard it. And never give it away to those who don't deserve it. And now, it's your turn. Start today. Take back your energy. Because once you do, you'll never let anyone steal it again. Take back your energy. So now, you know the truth. Some people drain your energy without you even realizing it. Some do it intentionally, some don't even know they're doing it. But at the end of the day, the result is the same. You feel exhausted, depleted, and disconnected from your own life. But it doesn't have to be this way. David made a choice. He took control of his energy. He stopped giving it away to the wrong people and started setting boundaries. He surrounded himself with those who lifted him up. And most importantly, he reconnected with the only source of strength that never runs dry: God. And now, it's your turn. Think about your life. Who's been draining you? Where have you been giving your energy away without even noticing? And most importantly, what will you do about it? Drop a comment below and let me know. I'm taking back my energy. Declare it. Own it. Because once you do, everything changes. If you found this video helpful, share it. Because chances are, someone you know is struggling with this too. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Grace Bible Stories for more wisdom, more insight, and more tools to help you grow. Your energy is sacred. Protect it. Guard it. And never let anyone steal it again.